For more, we're joined now by ESPN college basketball analyst Tim Welsh. Tim, thank you for being with us.
Always great to be with you, Jeremy. Thank you.
Tim, you spent a decade of your life at Iona College as an assistant coach, as a head coach. You know the school so well. Why did they make this decision?
Well, they made the decision because one of the best college basketball coaches in the history of the game was available and wanted to come back to the game and wanted to be there. So I think it's a win-win. It's a win for Iona College because you get one of the top 10 to 15 coaches in the history of the game come run your program who wants to be there. And that's the other part. He didn't take this job just because it was the only school that would hire him. He knew that he was going to go to a place that had rich tradition, that it was in a great area, that had great support, and was run by a terrific administration. So it's a win for the school. It's a win for Rick because he knows he can win there and he wants to be there. So I think it's an unbelievable story. It's a great story. And for me, who just has a lot of heart and soul and passion still for Iona College, it's a great day for the school.
Tim, we all know Rick Pitino is a great coach, one of the greats of all time, having won at Kentucky, having won at Louisville. But with all the scandals, why is it worth it for Iona to make this move? There are a lot of talented coaches out there.
Well, first of all, President Carey and Matt Glavosky, the athletic director, who is terrific and I know very well, would never hire an assistant tennis coach, a graduate assistant, without due diligence. And, you know, all that's gone on with the NCAA, I don't know the ins and outs of it, and I don't think any of us do, but I do know that the administration will thoroughly vet any hire, and especially something of this high profile, that they're going to end up on the back pages of the New York papers on day one of the hire, which they did. And they're not going to fool around with that. They're going to make sure they're covered and make sure that everything's on board, up and up, and they know what's going to happen down the road. And they're not going to make that public, but they're not going to make the hire unless they're 100% sure that everything's clear. And there's no doubt in my mind that they did that, and I think that's why they made the move.
We have only a few seconds remaining, Tim, but do you think it says something larger about the state of college basketball that Rick Pitino, who lost his job after the federal investigation, there was the escort scandal, there was the sex scandal before that, is still employed?
I think that when you are hired or fired by someone, it's usually one or a small group of people's decisions. And we all know in life that sometimes those decisions are correct and sometimes they're incorrect, and sometimes you look back and say, I wish we didn't make that move. Maybe we made that move hastily. And I think maybe Louisville will look back on that one day. And I think Iona will look back on this decision one day and say, we're really glad we made this decision for the future and the present of Iona College basketball.
Tim Welsh, the former head coach at Iona, also the former head coach at Providence, where Rick Pitino was the head coach many years ago. Tim, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.